But I do think that it is like the show, and obviously credit Jeff and Jackie with it, with noticing something in the zeitgeist and capitalizing on it to put something out in time before someone else was destined to do it. That I've seen, we're all more aware of it, obviously, because our livelihoods are dependent upon it. But I have watched it grow tremendously, even just as an observer of football and culture. That I think fantasy football over the last 3 or 4 years has grown even since we started the show.
I think it's because of our show, right?
I think it's mainly because of our show.
Well, I remember meeting with you guys because they were meeting with different people to possibly do the show. I didn't make the cut.
Not available.
No,
Not available.
Not available.
Not available.
I was doing Little Fockers, and but I remember meeting with you guys at a restaurant or a bar, and we were drinking beer, and I was like, well, what is the show about? And you guys were so secretive about it. You go, it's gonna be really funny. It's about a group of guys. We can't tell you what it's about. It's like, well, I'm not. Why? What? Why not? And you're like, we can't. We got to protect it. But you were right. It was like it was something.
We knew that it was a moment. We knew that somebody was going to do it, and for whatever reason, the networks, perhaps even cable, definitely movies, had been absolutely terrified to do a fantasy sports project. But we knew that it was just partly about fantasy sports. It's a great organizing principle because it's all about insulting your friends. It's all about competition. But the thing is, and I even hate saying the words organizing principle, they literally will not buy your television show unless you say the organizing principle is.
Oh, the other good one was, fantasy football is just the prism through which we see their lives. No, it's the prism.
The prisms are very important.
Once we had them at Prism, it could have been anything after that. Could have been a fantasy highlight.
They're all at the premiere for American Horror Story tonight, the FX people, so we could basically say we literally needed something to do it. But we do. We love fantasy football and we love fantasy sports, and we're glad we didn't say anything because for sure, I think we got very lucky, and a slightly sort of moment in time later, I imagine there would have been a CBS show about it, and then we would have been dead.
Jim Belushi
stinking one up.
Jim Belushi is here tonight. Hello.
Hey, Jeff. He's jerking off at home. Move on.
Not now. He just lost my eyes, Jim.
No. We said his name, so he finished.
I will say this though, for you guys who, other than Steve, who now stinks, knew nothing about fantasy sports, but they got into it super quick, and I think it's actually informed the characters a lot. I think there's been a lot of cross-pollination between the actors and the characters, and for instance, from someone who knew nothing about it. Mannequin Paul Scheer was ad dropping on his wedding night.
Yeah.
Literally, he was away from the show to get married. That was
season 1 too.
Yeah.
Barely
we have the screen grab to prove it, and we're just waiting for the right moment.
Yeah.
Our camera department has their own league. Like the 3 camera guys and their 3 assistants started a league just based on just being around us all the time.
Yeah. And let's see, LeJoie.
I haven't set my lineup in 3 weeks.
And he's still doing very well.
He almost beat me this week.
And he entered We Draft online, and he was like, he showed up like 3 rounds in, being like, I was on the toilet.
But sometimes the way you guys play, we adopt into the characters.
Right.
I
was like, my season 1, and I still am sort of a drunk tinkerer, like a late night. Some people like drunk text. I come home and pick up wide receivers.
He actually called me Friday night at 2 in the morning and asked me if I would install a breathalyzer on his phone. So that I couldn't get into it if he was playing.
That wasn't all I was calling.
Yeah.
I'm trying to fuck Mark.
Yeah. The cast of the show is basically like Fleetwood Mac. We're all having sex with each other all the time.